Alright guys, so I had the back glass fixed on the 78 deVille. Got that sorted out. So the glass repair guy was cleaning up in the back, getting all the glass out from back in the back compartment. When he did that, he basically toggled the seats, to get extra room to get back there. All fine and good. Pull the car into the garage. Guy leaves. Next thing you know, try to adjust it. Nothing's responding. So basically, I think that the lock issue that I have is old, and since I haven't driven the car for about like almost 2 years, I can't quite remember if these power locks went out at the same time, basically like 3 weeks ago when the guy changed the glass. So you can hear the click, but the locks are actually not engaging. So I know there's a fuse, actually a circuit breaker that's attached to the power locks and the power seats, and then the horn. And the thing with this car is the horn, the guy who had it before me put in an aftermarket horn. Oh, you can actually see. So before, when I had the circuit breaker in, the horn was still working, but the locks and the seats weren't. So I had to figure out what was causing this. So he moved the seat, the glass guy moved this seat all the way up. So I'm guessing somewhere below here you can see the ground wire. Something got pushed, something got moved around. So that's one theory. The other theory is circuit breaker. So the circuit breaker, you can see I pulled it out where it says horn breaker, went bad. So I'm thinking that's probably not the case now, because before the horn was working before I pulled it out, and now it's not working. So I'm thinking that that's probably not the case and what's causing the seats and the locks not to work, but they're all tied to this. I don't know if you can see it. Basically this fuse right here is actually not a fuse, it's a circuit breaker. And it's a silver piece. It pulls right out like a fuse. I'll show you guys what that looks like. So while I was down here, I noticed another fuse was out. At least one more, so I had 130 out that's here. I think it's actually supposed to be a 25. And then there's a bunch of accessory wires that this guy who had it before me added. So he's got aftermarket, he's got an amp in the back, which I like, but he's got a custom horn, which is really lame. And then he's got headlights, or I should say grow lights in the front hooked up, which is operated by this switch. So I'm thinking to take those out while I'm down here. But first I need to find what the issue is causing the power seats not to work. The power locks I'm not as worried about. It's more the power seat, because since the seat's all the way up, I can't drive it comfortably. So let me show you guys what the circuit breaker looks like. So it looks, I was a little worried to pull it out before, but this is what the circuit breaker looks like. So you can see it's pretty old, but it's a 30 amp 12 volt. I think it's pretty standard for GM cars. And it's got 2 slots like a fuse would. So this is a 30 amp regular fuse. So it's pretty much similar to a fuse. It's just it's a breaker. So these breakers, apparently they self-reset. So after they've been tripped, it doesn't really tell you what is the trigger for resetting. I think it's a disconnect from the ignition, but this is what the breaker looks like. It's basically looks like a big fuse. So I bought a new one of these just in case that happened to be it. Now that the horn's not working, I'm thinking it's not the circuit breaker, but we'll see. This one looks like it's the original. It's probably worth giving it a shot, changing it. And replace this other fuse that was blown. This 30 amp that was blown down there. But I'm thinking I'm gonna have to disconnect or I'll remove that front seat to see what wires were moved around when the guy moved the seat up. So more to come. But that's a quick breakdown of what those fuses look like in the circuit breaker.